quiet pattern keeps appearing in the lives of people who stay healthier longer than everyone around them. It is not hidden inside expensive supplements. It is not locked behind complicated workout plans. It does not require perfect genetics, strict diets, or painful routines that only last for a few weeks before people give up. While millions of people spend years searching for the next miracle solution, researchers studying aging and long life continue finding clues connected to one of the simplest daily actions the human body was designed to do. The strange part is that most people ignore it completely because it looks too ordinary to matter. Modern life trained people to believe that powerful results must come from extreme effort, yet some of the strongest health improvements ever recorded started with only a few minutes of movement repeated every single day. Just 9 minutes. That number sounds almost ridiculous in a world obsessed with intense transformations, but scientists have spent years tracking how small daily habits quietly shape the body over time, and the results have surprised even experts. Blood pressure begins changing, blood sugar becomes more stable, circulation improves, stress hormones slowly decrease, the brain starts functioning differently, energy levels shift, sleep patterns improve. Even the speed of aging inside the body may begin to change. The frightening part is that many people never notice the damage caused by inactivity until years later when the body suddenly feels older, heavier, weaker, and harder to repair. Most health problems do not arrive all at once. They build silently in the background while daily routines stay the same. 1 hour sitting becomes another. One tired evening becomes another exhausted year. The body adapts slowly to stillness, and over time, that stillness begins affecting almost every system that keeps a person alive. Researchers studying long living populations noticed another interesting pattern. Many of the people who lived the longest were not obsessed with fitness at all. They simply moved often. They walked regularly. They stayed active in small, natural ways that never looked dramatic from the outside. Their secret was not intensity, their secret was consistency. That changes the entire conversation around health because it means longer life may depend less on rare extreme actions and more on tiny habits repeated quietly for decades. In this video, you will discover why researchers became so interested in short daily movement, what happens inside the body during those 9 minutes, how this simple habit affects the heart, brain, metabolism, inflammation, stress, and aging itself, and why many experts now believe in activity may be one of the most dangerous hidden problems of modern life. You will also learn why short, consistent movement can sometimes produce better long-term results than extreme routines people cannot maintain, and why the body responds powerfully even before major weight loss or visible transformation happens. There is also a hidden mental effect connected to this habit that most people never hear about, and it may explain why some individuals feel younger, calmer, and mentally sharper as they age, while others feel drained earlier in life. Near the end of this video, we will break down the easiest ways to start this habit without changing your entire lifestyle, and why the timing of these 9 minutes may matter more than people realize. One small adjustment after meals, during the morning, or before bed could influence energy, cravings, focus, and even sleep quality in ways that sound too simple to be real until science explains what is actually happening beneath the surface. The truth is that the human body was built for movement long before modern chairs, screens, elevators, and endless sitting became normal. Deep inside the body, muscles, blood vessels, hormones, and even the brain still expect regular movement every day. When that movement disappears, the body slowly begins losing functions it was designed to keep. That decline often happens so gradually that people mistake it for normal aging. But in many cases, the body is not simply getting older, it is adapting to inactivity. That difference matters because habits can change adaptation. Small actions repeated daily can slowly push the body in a completely different direction over time. This is why scientists became fascinated by simple movement patterns instead of only studying intense exercise. They discovered that even brief activity can activate systems inside the body that remain quiet during long periods of sitting. The effects may look small in a single day, but over years they begin stacking together like invisible deposits into future health. 9 minutes today may not feel important. 9 minutes repeated for 10 years becomes a different story entirely. That is where this video becomes important because most people are waiting for the perfect moment to completely transform their lives while ignoring the tiny habits already shaping their future every single day. Some habits slowly weaken the body without obvious warning signs. Others slowly strengthen it without immediate dramatic results. The direction often stays invisible until enough time passes. By the end of this video, you may never look at daily movement the same way again because the science behind it reveals a reality that many people overlook until it is too late. A longer, healthier life may not begin with a complicated system. It may begin with a few quiet minutes repeated consistently while everyone else keeps searching for shortcuts. Welcome to the channel. Here we explore science-backed health, aging, nutrition, and habits that can change the future of your body and mind. Subscribe now and stay with us until the end because the final section may completely change how you think about exercise, aging, and the hidden power of simple daily movement. The modern human body is moving less than at any other time in history, and the effects are becoming impossible to ignore. Millions of people wake up already tired, sit during breakfast, sit during work, sit during travel, sit during entertainment, and then wonder why their energy slowly disappears year after year. The dangerous part is that this lifestyle feels completely normal because almost everyone around them is living the same way. Long hours of sitting became part of everyday life so gradually that many people never stop to ask what this constant stillness might be doing inside the body. The body was never designed to remain inactive for most of the day, yet modern routines quietly force it into that condition for years at a time. At first, nothing dramatic happens. There is no sudden warning sign, no sharp pain, no emergency. Life simply continues. A person feels slightly more tired than before, slightly less motivated, slightly stiffer in the morning, slightly heavier after meals. Then months pass, years pass, small declines begin stacking on top of each other. The body adapts to inactivity and silence. Muscles become weaker, blood circulation slows down, metabolism becomes less efficient, energy production changes, the heart works harder than it should, blood sugar starts staying elevated longer after meals. Inflammation slowly increases beneath the surface without obvious symptoms. Most people do not feel unhealthy immediately. They feel normal until one day they don't. One day the stairs feel harder, one day the knees ache more than before. One day exhaustion arrives earlier in the afternoon. One day the body feels older than expected. That moment shocks many people because the decline felt invisible while it was happening. Researchers studying aging noticed that the human body often sends quiet signals long before major disease appears. Fatigue becomes more common. Stiffness lasts longer after waking up. Concentration becomes weaker. Recovery becomes slower. Sleep feels less refreshing. These changes are often dismissed as ordinary aging, but inactivity may be playing a much larger role than people realize. Sitting for long periods affects almost every important system inside the body. The muscles stop contracting regularly. Blood flow becomes less active. Calorie burning slows down. Insulin sensitivity changes. Over time, the body becomes less efficient at controlling blood sugar levels, which places extra pressure on the pancreas and increases metabolic stress. The frightening part is that this damage builds quietly in the background for years before major symptoms appear. Some researchers now compare prolonged inactivity to a slow biological shutdown happening in stages over time. Even circulation begins changing when movement disappears from daily life. Blood vessels function better when the body moves regularly. Without enough movement, circulation can become sluggish, especially in the legs and lower body. That reduced circulation affects oxygen delivery throughout the body. The brain also notices the difference. Less movement can influence mood, mental clarity, stress response, and overall brain function. Many people think they are simply exhausted from work or stress, but sometimes the body is reacting to a lifestyle with too little movement and too much sitting. Heart strain becomes another hidden problem. The heart is a muscle, and like every other muscle, it responds to how it is used. Regular movement helps keep the cardiovascular system efficient, flexible, and responsive. Inactivity slowly weakens that efficiency. Over time, simple daily activities begin requiring more effort. This is why some people feel tired doing basic tasks even when they are not technically sick. Their body is becoming less conditioned for movement itself. Aging also accelerates in ways most people never see directly. Researchers studying long term health found that inactivity is connected to faster physical decline as people grow older. Muscle loss becomes more common, balance weakens, joint flexibility decreases, energy production drops, even the body's ability to recover from stress begins changing. The body starts acting older because it is functioning in a more inactive state. Yet many people still believe exercise only matters for weight loss or appearance. The deeper truth is that movement affects the systems that keep the body alive and functioning over decades. One of the most alarming discoveries researchers made is that a person can appear relatively healthy while harmful metabolic changes are already happening internally. Someone may not look unhealthy on the outside, while inflammation, insulin resistance, poor circulation, and cardiovascular strain quietly increase inside the body. This is why inactivity became such a major focus in health research. Scientists began realizing that long periods of sitting were not just harmless relaxation, they were affecting biological processes linked to disease, aging, and lifespan itself. Then scientists discovered something interesting. The body responds to movement much faster than expected, even when the movement is short and simple. The solution was not always intense workouts or exhausting routines. In many cases, the body reacted positively to brief periods of consistent daily movement. Researchers noticed that even short walks produced measurable improvements inside the body. Blood sugar regulation improved, circulation increased, energy systems became more active, stress markers decreased, the body seemed almost relieved to move again. This changed how many experts viewed exercise because the greatest benefits often came from consistency rather than intensity. That is where the 9-minute habit enters the story. Not 9 minutes once a week, not 9 minutes followed by hours of complete inactivity, daily movement, consistent movement, uninterrupted brisk walking repeated every day. The reason this matters psychologically is surprisingly important. Large goals often fail because the brain sees them as difficult, exhausting, or unrealistic. Extreme workout plans sound powerful in the beginning, but many people abandon them after a few weeks because they require too much motivation. The brain naturally resists habits that feel painful or overwhelming. But 9 minutes feels manageable. 9 minutes feels possible even on busy days. That small psychological difference changes everything because habits that feel easy are more likely to survive long enough to create real results. The power is not intensity, the power is consistency. Researchers repeatedly found that small sustainable habits often outperform extreme routines that people quit after a short time. A brisk 9-minute walk may not sound dramatic, but repeated daily over months and years, it creates biological changes that slowly reshape health. This habit works because it interrupts the long periods of stillness that modern life created. It reminds the body to activate systems designed for movement. It tells the muscles to work again. It tells the heart to pump harder. It tells circulation to increase. It tells metabolism to wake up. Studies tracking physical activity found that even modest daily walking was connected to lower risk of early death and better overall health outcomes. Scientists became especially interested in walking because it is accessible to almost everyone. No expensive equipment, no special training, no gym membership, just movement repeated consistently. Brisk walking became one of the most studied habits linked to longevity because it affects multiple systems inside the body at the same time. While you are walking, your heart begins pumping more efficiently. Blood moves through the body with greater force and rhythm. Oxygen delivery improves, tissues receive more nutrients, the cardiovascular system becomes more active instead of remaining stagnant for hours. While you are walking, your muscles begin contracting repeatedly, and those contractions create important metabolic effects. Active muscles help absorb glucose from the bloodstream more effectively, which helps stabilize blood sugar levels after meals. This reduces pressure on the body's insulin response and helps metabolism function more efficiently. While you are walking, circulation improves throughout the body. Blood vessels expand to support increased blood flow. Better circulation means better oxygen delivery to organs, muscles, and the brain. Many people notice clearer thinking and improved mood after walking because the brain receives more oxygen and blood flow during movement. While you are walking, the body also begins releasing chemicals connected to stress reduction and emotional regulation. This is one reason movement often improves mental clarity and reduces tension. The nervous system responds to movement in powerful ways that many people underestimate. While you are walking, joints remain active instead of stiffening from prolonged sitting. The body maintains mobility more effectively through regular movement. Muscles supporting posture and balance continue working instead of weakening from inactivity. This becomes extremely important over time because maintaining strength and mobility is closely connected to independence during aging. While you are walking, calorie burning increases naturally without placing overwhelming stress on the body. The metabolism becomes more active. Energy production increases. Fatigue often decreases because the body functions better when movement becomes part of daily life again. Many people think rest always creates energy, but too much inactivity often produces the opposite effect. The body can become more sluggish the longer it remains still. Movement helps reverse that process. While you are walking, inflammation markers may begin decreasing over time. Chronic inflammation became one of the biggest concerns in modern health research because it is connected to many serious diseases and aging processes. Regular movement appears to help regulate inflammatory responses inside the body, especially when practiced consistently over long periods. While you are walking, your lungs work harder to deliver oxygen, your muscles demand more fuel, your circulation becomes more active, and your brain receives signals that the body is alive, responsive, and functioning as it was designed to function. That is why this habit affects so many systems simultaneously. The human body expects movement. When movement disappears, systems begin slowing down. When movement returns consistently, many of those systems respond almost immediately. Even short walks can produce meaningful biological changes because the body is highly responsive to regular activity. Researchers studying lifespan and healthy aging noticed that people who stayed physically active through simple daily movement often maintained better mobility, energy, and independence later in life. The important detail is that these individuals were not always athletes. Many simply stayed consistent with movement over time. That consistency created compounding effects year after year. The body responds to what it repeats most often. Long periods of stillness teach the body to become less active. Regular walking teaches the body to stay functional, adaptable, and engaged. That difference may shape how people feel not only today, but decades into the future. One of the biggest misunderstandings about aging is the belief that getting older automatically means becoming weaker, slower, more tired, and less independent. Age does change the body, but researchers discovered that inactivity changes it much faster. Many of the physical problems people blame entirely on aging are often connected to years of reduced movement. The body adapts to the lifestyle it repeats most often. When movement disappears from daily life, the body slowly begins shutting down functions it no longer thinks are necessary. Muscles shrink from lack of use, joints become stiffer, balance weakens, energy production declines, the heart becomes less efficient, even the brain starts changing. This decline rarely happens suddenly, it happens quietly. One year of inactivity becomes another. Then one day people notice they cannot move the same way they once could. Tasks that once felt easy suddenly feel exhausting. Standing up becomes harder. Walking longer distances feels uncomfortable, recovery takes longer, the body starts feeling older than the actual number of years lived. Scientists studying healthy aging noticed a powerful pattern among people who remained strong and independent later in life. Many were not following extreme fitness programs. Many were not spending hours inside gyms. Instead, they kept moving naturally throughout their lives, walking regularly, staying active daily, using their bodies consistently instead of allowing long periods of complete stillness to dominate everyday life. This became one of the most important discoveries in longevity research because it shifted attention away from short bursts of intense effort and towards sustainable movement repeated over decades. Researchers studying some of the longest living populations in the world found the same pattern appearing again and again. People living in areas known for exceptional longevity often moved naturally every day without treating movement like punishment. They walked to visit friends. They walked while working. They stayed physically active through ordinary routines. Their movement was not always intense, but it was consistent. The body responds strongly to consistency because daily movement keeps multiple systems active at the same time. Walking supports the heart by improving circulation and cardiovascular efficiency. It supports the brain through better blood flow and oxygen delivery. It supports the joints by keeping them mobile and flexible. It supports muscles by preventing long periods of complete inactivity. This is why walking became such an important focus in healthy aging research. It activates the body without overwhelming it. Long life is usually built from ordinary habits repeated for years. That truth sounds almost disappointing in a world searching for dramatic solutions. But many researchers now believe daily routines shape health more powerfully than rare extreme actions. Tiny repeated habits slowly become biological instructions the body follows over time. The body learns from repetition. Repeated inactivity teaches the body to conserve energy, reduce function, and tolerate stillness. Repeated movement teaches the body to remain capable, active, and adaptable. That difference becomes more important with every passing decade. One of the greatest fears people carry about aging is not simply death itself, it is the fear of losing independence, the fear of relying on others for basic daily tasks, the fear of losing strength, mobility, balance, memory, or energy. This is where movement becomes deeply important because maintaining physical function often means maintaining freedom. A body that keeps moving regularly is more likely to stay capable longer. Walking may look simple from the outside, but inside the body it protects systems connected directly to independence. Stronger circulation helps maintain brain health. Better mobility helps prevent falls. Active muscles support posture and balance. Improved cardiovascular function supports stamina during daily activities. Over time, these benefits begin combining together. Small walks repeated daily may help preserve the ability to live independently later in life. That possibility changes how movement should be viewed. It is no longer only about appearance or weight, it becomes about protecting future quality of life. Researchers also noticed another hidden effect connected to regular walking. People who stayed active often appeared mentally younger as well. Their thinking remained sharper. Their moods stayed more stable. Their stress levels were often lower. Many experts believe movement affects the brain far more deeply than most people realize. Modern life places the nervous system under constant pressure, endless notifications, work stress, financial pressure, poor sleep, information overload, long hours indoors, constant sitting. The human nervous system rarely gets true recovery anymore. Many people feel mentally exhausted not because they are weak, but because their brains never fully slow down. Stress hormones remain elevated for long periods. Mental fatigue builds quietly day after day. This is where walking begins affecting health in another powerful way. Sometimes the walk is not healing your body first, it is healing your nervous system. During walking, the body often shifts into a calmer state. Breathing becomes more rhythmic. Muscles release tension. Stress hormones may begin decreasing. Blood flow improves. The brain receives signals that the body is active instead of trapped in stillness. Many people notice their thoughts becoming clearer during walks. Problems feel less overwhelming. Anxiety softens slightly. Mental pressure decreases. Researchers studying movement and mental health found that walking can influence mood, emotional regulation, and stress response in surprisingly powerful ways. Even short daily movement appears connected to lower levels of chronic stress and emotional exhaustion. This may explain why some people feel emotionally lighter after a walk, even when nothing in their external life changed. The nervous system responds to movement because the human body evolved expecting regular physical activity. Long periods of complete stillness combined with mental stress create a condition the body was never designed to handle continuously. Walking interrupts that pattern. It gives the nervous system a different signal. While walking, attention often shifts away from endless mental pressure. The brain gets a temporary break from constant stimulation. This is one reason many people experience clearer thinking during or after walking. Thoughts become less foggy, mental tension decreases, concentration sometimes improves. The brain functions differently when circulation and oxygen delivery increase during movement. Better sleep becomes another hidden benefit many people overlook. Modern sleep problems are often connected to stress, inactivity, irregular routines, and overstimulated nervous systems. Walking appears to support healthier sleep in several ways at once. Physical movement helps regulate energy levels throughout the day. Stress reduction supports relaxation at night. Exposure to morning sunlight during walks may also help regulate the body's internal clock. Many people who begin walking consistently notice they fall asleep more easily or wake feeling more refreshed. The body seems to function better when movement becomes part of daily rhythm again. Emotional exhaustion may also decrease gradually. Many people carry a constant feeling of heaviness without fully understanding why. They feel mentally drained before the day even finishes. Part of this exhaustion may come from chronic stress combined with physical inactivity. The body and brain are deeply connected. When the body remains inactive for too long, energy levels often decline further instead of improving. Movement helps reverse that cycle. It creates activation inside the body instead of stagnation. Some researchers even describe walking as a natural regulator for both physical and emotional systems. It does not erase life problems, but it may help the body handle those problems more effectively. One reason this habit works so well is because it feels realistic. People often fail health routines because they try changing everything at once. Extreme diets, intense workout plans, strict schedules. The brain resists dramatic lifestyle changes because they require enormous mental energy to maintain. Walking for 9 minutes feels different. It feels possible. It feels manageable even during stressful weeks. That simplicity becomes its strength. Small habits survive because they fit into real life. This is why consistency matters more than perfection. Missing one day does not destroy the habit. Walking slowly at first still counts. Starting small still matters. The goal is not becoming an athlete overnight. Then, months later, the body may feel noticeably different compared to before. Not because of one dramatic transformation, but because small daily movement slowly changed the direction the body was heading. The human body was never designed to remain still for most of the day. Deep inside your muscles, your heart, your lungs, your blood vessels, and even your brain, there is a system that expects movement, not extreme movement, not painful routines that leave you exhausted after one week. Just simple, consistent movement repeated often enough to remind the body that it is still alive, active, and adapting. That is why this tiny habit matters more than most people realize. 9 minutes may sound too small to change anything, but the truth is that many of the biggest changes inside the body begin quietly. Better circulation begins quietly, stronger energy begins quietly, improved blood sugar control begins quietly, reduced stress begins quietly. Even healthier aging begins quietly. The body changes through repetition. Every day you move, you send a signal to your body that it should stay strong, mobile, alert, and functional. Every day you stay inactive for too long, the opposite signal slowly grows stronger. That choice may seem invisible today, but over years it becomes part of the future you are building without realizing it. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect moment to completely transform themselves, while ignoring the tiny daily habits already shaping their health right now. The surprising truth is that a longer life may not begin with some dramatic breakthrough. It may begin with one small walk after dinner, one quiet walk in the morning sunlight, one short moment each day where the body finally moves the way it was designed to move. Long life is often less about intensity and more about consistency. Small habits repeated for years become powerful. The people who stay healthier longer are not always the ones doing the most extreme routines. Often they are simply the ones who never stopped moving. So starting today, those 9 minutes are no longer just 9 minutes. They are an investment into your future energy, future mobility, future independence, future heart health, future brain health, and future quality of life. Your body was designed to move, not perfectly, not intensely, just consistently. And sometimes the smallest habits become the ones that quietly change everything. Comment below and tell us when you would do your 9 minute walk, morning, after meals, or before bed. And if this video helped you see health differently, support the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and sharing it with someone who needs this reminder today. More science-backed health videos are coming soon, and the next one may completely change the way you think about aging, energy, and the hidden habits controlling your body every single day.